I can hear you. Okay. I'm gonna flip so I can breathe. Okay.
We had to do it. We had to do it in the morning so you were fresher.
That's correct.
We was getting you at your bad hours.
Yes, damn straight. I was 13 hours in at that point. No, yeah. No, 12, 3 to 3. I was 14 hours in. That was never gonna work. All right, let me flip. Do you want to flip or are you gonna breathe? Are you all right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Real Life with Nola and Dr. Donna. And we are attempting to breathe, but Nola is
Waking up.
So we're going to do some emotional, we're going to do our best to do some emotional regulation. We'll inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale 3 times on my descending count of 3, 2, 1. Good morning, Bridget. So 3, 2, 1. He is. Oh my goodness.
Well, I breathed a little too good.
Okay. Good morning, Stacy Divine. I'm gonna come back on. We trying to. Woo, we gonna do this. One thing we figured out, ladies and gentlemen, part of the reason why the afternoon evening live wasn't working because I was 14 hours into my day at that point.
We had
Now
to
the
get
other
her
issue
fresher
is
over here. She was a
right.
little
The other
sleepy.
issue is
Now
she
she
did mess
was
up my breathing too. I told her to reverse the camera, but yeah. Anyway, good thing we already got our breathing in. So I am Dr. Donna Louise Thomas Rogers, daughter of Leslie Darnell Thomas, granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II, and great granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Nola is getting ready to do her DNA, but for the most part, she's Harvich's daughter and Leslie's great granddaughter and Leslie's granddaughter and Arthur's great granddaughter, Levi Thomas's great great granddaughter. There we go.
good
All
morning,
right. Good morning,
everyone.
Jared. So today we are talking about be a thermostat and a thermometer. I had to decide how we were going to merge these two lives. I'm gonna do an intro. Nola's gonna do her thing. I'm gonna follow back up with your brain conversation, your everyday flex, what you learned today, what you learned about yourself, and then I will leave you with your Neuro Rep, so you will still have a personal accountability Neuro Rep. It'll just be because you already did be a thermostat, not a thermometer, and now you get a second go round of that. So here we go. Here are the differences between a thermostat and a thermometer. And this will give Nola time to wake up. A thermometer reports,
I'm
a
awake.
thermostat
I'm awake.
regulates. Okay.
I am awake.
All right. A thermometer passively reflects whatever environment it is placed in. A thermostat actively decides the temperature and holds the environment accountable to it. Real leaders don't mirror the room, real leaders manage the room. A thermostat is reactive. A thermometer is reactive. A thermostat is intentional. Thermometers get pulled by their moods, emotions, gossip, pressure, and other people's attitudes. But a thermostat uses the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which is discipline loop, to set the tone, have clarity, have high standards, and do everything on purpose. Good morning, Regina. All right. So real leadership is intentional. Energy management is not emotional contagion. We are emotional regulators over here, not dysregulation. Number 3, and there are 5, a thermostat absorbs the climate. A thermometer absorbs the climate. A thermostat creates the climate. Yes, dorsolateral prefrontal cortex living over here. Thermometers get swept up in the drama, the conflict, the confusion, and the chaos. But the thermostats use the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, which is the brake pedal, to slow down the moment, stabilize whatever is happening with the people around them, and they choose productive responses. We respond versus react, which is why we do 10 significant seconds of silence. Real leaders shift the atmosphere by who they are, not by what's happening. So we're not over here like, oh my God, and then we jump right in like animal off of the doggone Muppets. It's not happening. Charlie in the mailroom off of Sunny in California, not what Sunny in Philadelphia. We're not doing that over here. Chicken Little, this guy is fine. This guy. We don't do that. Number 4 is a thermometer reads conditions. A thermostat resets the conditions. So a thermometer can tell you something is wrong, but it can't fix it. Ain't that what everybody do? Adults is always identifying problems and they can't fucking fix nothing. But a thermostat uses the anterior singular error
That
correction.
pissed you off, didn't it? You
It did. And the basal
said
ganglia is followed through to adjust behavior, mood, and room towards solution. Yes, that's that dump and run. And what you gonna do about it? And what you every day, all day long, people on podcasts, thought leaders, and everything else just fucking throwing shit out there, and ain't don't nobody have no solution. It reminds me of that book by Clarence. I forgot his last name. It's time for
Thomas.
lead. No,
How
it's not.
could you remember his last name and you got the same last name?
No, Clarence Thomas is the Supreme Court Justice. It's another Clarence. Anyway, the book was It's Time to Lead the Plantation. I read that whole damn book, got to the end, no solution. I was pissed. Don't read that book. It had all this, it's the problem, it's the problem, it's the problem, it's the problem, it's the problem. And then left me with nothing. I said, what the hell is it? What how you gonna say it's time to leave? Leave is a verb, it's an action. And then don't tell us when we leave it, but just throw all this stuff out there. So that's what thermometers do that. Thermostats don't do that. Yeah, it's called Lead a Plantation. Somebody could look it up, but it's time to lead a plantation or something like that. His first name is Clarence. I read it several years ago. So yeah, it's definitely a thumbs down for me. It's a bunch of bullshit. What again? Somebody just wanted to have a voice and say some stuff. It's a problem with it, and then don't do shit. Thumbs down. So definitely just talking about what's wrong, but ain't gonna do shit. All talk, no action. And then number 5 is thermometers blend in, thermostats stand firm. So thermometers match whatever environment they're in. They just blending in, like just fucking blending in. Thermostats maintain their intentional standards regardless of the external situations. The art of confusion, no solutions. Yes. And then real leaders hold their internal temperature, which is discipline, dignity, and clarity, even when the room is off. So here's Dr. Donna leadership principle. Do not be a reading of the room, be the setting of the room. So a thermometer leader tells you how things are. That's just the way it is. That's just how they are. That's how they are. That's just how we can't do nothing about it. We've been doing it that way. Ain't nothing gonna change. But a thermostat leader shows you how things can be, and then they raise the room to that level. And that's where set and maintain high standards comes into play. I don't care what's taking place. We the best over here. Okay? Be the best. High ass standards over here. Like mini skirts in the 60s and 70s, them motherfuckers was high as hell. So that's what we are. High standards. So now, Nola, go ahead and enlighten us on your thermostat versus thermometer behaviors.
Uh
And oh,
be
by the way, the live is sponsored by Drink Water.
be a thermostat, not a thermometer. By Nola Rogers. Like I'm
Oh
saying,
my
it's like it's a
goodness.
short story. I need a book.
Yes.
Hold up. I need a book. Like I'm over
Oh
here.
my
Be
goodness.
be a thermostat, not a thermometer. You know how the elementary school teachers do it. Be a thermostat. Hold up, it's invisible because it's okay. Hold up. Be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Anyway, okay. Anyway, the point is the color went away because of the color of the book. Anyway, but the point is that so for me, I used to obviously be the bad thing, and now I'm the good thing. That's why I'm here. If I was still a thermometer, I wouldn't make it. Anyway, so for me, I was a complainer. And so a great example of to use the brain stuff she's always talking about, the neuroplasticity or whatever she's got on over there.
Even though
um
it's bad.
yes, a great simile to those things. I think it's simile. Be a thermostat, not a thermometer, is emotional regulation versus emotional dysregulation. Emotional dysregulation is being the thermometer. Emotional regulation is being the thermostat. So there was a lot of things that were causing me to be emotionally dysregulated, and that's because I was being a thermometer. You're taking a reactive, passive perspective, and if you want to be regulated, you gotta be in charge, and that's what the thermostat is. And so another great example is setting pace. I don't know how many people are familiar with basketball, but the coaches are always telling their players you need to set the pace, because at that point they're controlling scoring, defense, and everything. Like normally they tell you to do stuff fast, But if you're letting the other team set the pace, normally you're getting blown out. They're beating you. They're scoring 20, 30 points on you
Mm-hmm.
because they got control of the game because they got the pace. So for me, I would be complaining about stuff that was happening to me in school and everything because I was just not being in control. And part of it for me, I used to avoid leadership
Yep.
because I
Say
thought
that again. Say that again. You used to do what?
avoid leadership.
Okay, got it.
I'm
Okay.
trying to say why. Because
Okay, go ahead.
because I thought leaders just had to take credit for all the bad stuff and whatever other people fucked up. And that wasn't very advertising for me. But what she told me, and she told me this a lot while I was a kid, which was if you want to change something, you have to take responsibility for it. And for a lot of years, I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? What? But it's this. It is being a thermostat versus not a thermometer. So a thermometer is just, oh my god, it's hot. Oh my god, it's cold. You trying to see. A lot of people gonna be using thermometers in a minute for these turkeys, but it is what it is. The thermostat we use a lot in this household because she's going through perimenopause, and so
Catching strays. Catching strays. I ain't even how my perimenopause become part of this. How? Get back on topic. The
okay.
main thing is the main thing.
But you can actually control the temperature. So if you have a thermostat, you could be like, "Hey, I'm cold. Let's turn the heat on. Hey, I'm hot. Let's turn it down." And so, in order for me to be able to change things I didn't like, I had to start being in leadership positions. Which,
Yes.
and so that's part of the reason why
Wait one second before you. So, in order for you to change things that you don't like, you need to be in a leadership position. That's why I didn't like that book because the person just identified what was wrong and they didn't change anything. That's why when thought leaders and podcasters just keep talking about what's wrong, they are not leaders because they can't change anything. They just keep talking about through negativity bias what the hell is wrong.
over
Go ahead.
message. Okay, I'm done.
Listen here, Bridget.
Like that
Listen
movie.
here. Listen
Anyway,
here. Go
anyway,
ahead, no.
what I was saying was, and so the first move for me to make from being a thermostat to a thermometer was leaving physical high school and going to homeschool. And I have been working my ass off ever since. I said, I want to control my education. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. No, I'm just playing. But because I'm sick of playing volley tennis. Everything that was happening was stupid. I was behind on education. We always did the units in PE. I hated, I didn't get any of the classes I wanted. I wanted computer science, woodworking, and CrossFit or weight training. They gave me art, PE, web design, and TV production. I'm like, but because the lady told me you couldn't have that as a freshman. You know how many freshmen I had? Freaking Karen. Anyway, the point is, I was like, I want to have control of my time and I want to have control of my education. And I did that and I almost failed the 10th grade, but
Yep.
I didn't get to go to
No,
school in my pajamas.
let's pause for that. So yeah, she said that, and then she realized how not smart she was.
I got
At
the
one point,
surprise of my life. I got my
she
ass
did.
kicked.
She did. At one point, we had 5 weeks left in the school year, and
It
Nola
was
had
7.
7 weeks left in the school year. She had 4 Fs and a D and an A in
In
entrepreneurship,
entrepreneurship.
and
Guess what
she
I'm doing
literally
now?
was behind
It's what I'm
18.
doing now.
She literally was behind 18 assignments in chemistry alone. And I said, first of all, you came to homeschool to graduate a year early. At the rate you're going to be on time. You're going to fail the damn 10th grade.
But
So,
I got it together and we
okay,
got
no. Who
strategies.
got it together though? Who got
You
it
got it
together?
together. I still had to do the work. You
Okay,
didn't do
but
the
who,
assignments. I did. You
how
gave me
many
a
days?
strategy.
How
Okay.
many days did it take to get you caught back up
You get
after you
off
was
track here.
18?
You
Huh?
get off track here. It had to go down for it to go back up. Okay. That's the
Okay.
takeaway. You now you getting distracted.
I'm not.
With the strategies getting in place, I was able. So I went from failing the 10th grade to be able to do 2 grades at the same time. I did the 11th and 12th grade together. The point was,
I'm
I
still
got
going to do that. The point is this, in order for you to have, because you're missing this firing pin, in order for you to have done the 11th and 12th grade together, you had to get back on track. And so the thermostat had to come in and develop a, because you was
But
working
I'm
with a
trying to make
dumbass plan.
I'm trying to make
Okay.
a whole separate point. I'm telling you that I had to take control of my education.
Well, first of all, you had to get back in control. You had to get back in the 10th grade. So that this is important.
You
So
making a whole
it took 8 days for me to get her back on track. And then from there, she caught up and then finished the 10th grade successfully. And now you can talk about that because if people need to know, you're like, well, but then I finished the 11th to 12th grade. But how did you get back? How did you go from four
I
F's,
just
a
said
D, and an
why.
A?
I needed strategies in place because saying I wanted to be in control of my education wasn't enough. That was gonna be my point.
Okay.
Thank you.
You got the mic back. There you go.
I got strategies because just saying you want to be in control isn't enough. I had a couple more examples of
Okay, go
this.
ahead.
Mhm.
Proceed. Don't
Anyway,
let me stop you. Go ahead.
just saying
Finish
you
what you're
want to
saying.
be in
Go
control
ahead, keep
isn't enough.
talking. Just right now. Just finish.
Just saying you want to be in control isn't enough. You need strategies. So for the next school year, after the worst grades I ever had in my life, I had
Mhm.
strategies for it. I was able to complete. It was like 624 assignments, two
Right.
different grades, the 11th and 12th grade, and so I was able to graduate early, which was my goal because that was the other thing. In the thermometer situation, they were like, "No, you have to stay," even though I was going to have like 2 classes for senior year. And I was like, F this, I don't like school, so I'm leaving as early as possible with a diploma. And so the same thing happened, and I did have more control of my time. I got to wear what I want. I watch YouTube videos throughout the day. I could watch live lessons when I wanted. So the key to I believe we already did take risk. We did take risk, right?
I
Because
think so.
I had the brain leaping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
The
did.
key to switching from a thermometer to a thermostat is faith. You have to believe in yourself, which is another principle of real leadership. And so you have to believe in yourself because you will be taking risks. It will be an adjustment period, but then you'll be in control. So I did eventually reach my goal because I did get the missing component, which was not only having the goal but having the strategy to get to the goal. And so I did end up reaching my goal, which was completing all my assignments, doing 2 grades combined, and leaving high school early so that I could get essentially a year back. And so what I did with that year is I started Assemble, which was
Yes.
another shit show. But that I didn't have skill.
Of
This time
epic
I didn't have
proportion.
the skills or a strategy for it. Last
Right.
time it was just I didn't have a strategy. However, now I am about to be 5 years into business, and the people that I graduated 2020, which were technically the year ahead of me, have been in the workforce for 2 years. My peers will only have been in the workforce for about 6 months, because of when they graduated. So I'm going to be 4.5 years ahead of them in business, and they still got to find a job, entry level position, yada yada, etc., get work experience and stuff. And now, not only do I have work experience, but I have entrepreneur experience at a high level because I started off by saying I want control of my time and my education. So again, the key to switching from a thermometer to a thermostat is taking on leadership roles, but in order to do that, you have
Caveat.
to have a strategy. Otherwise, it's going to go left. So the intent is not enough.
Exactly. Go ahead and show your picture of your ladder now.
Oh, speaking of assembled, which photo we're going to use here? So that's
Now
me
flip
about
that. Okay.
20 feet in the air yesterday. Which one do you want? Do you not like this picture?
Yeah, no, it's fine. That's the one. So
Oh,
this was, yeah. strategies and belief in yourself, go processes, and now you're an entrepreneur. Yes. So that's her up on the ladder on the tree at the client's house yesterday,
That's what's
putting
about
Christmas
20
tree
feet in
lights
the
up.
air.
Yeah.
You're pretty tall because that doesn't even look that high.
No, it's high. I zoomed my phone in so you could see it, because when I was standing with it, you couldn't see it. So I had to put my phone on 0.6 for us to even get the shot because it
Oh,
was
you
short.
said it was too far away that was blended in with the tree.
Well, no, I'm saying I had to make the shot smaller to get the whole ladder. When I was closer, you couldn't get the bottom of the ladder. So
Oh, okay.
I had to adjust my zoom all the way out to see how high up in the air you actually are. So that part. So why? Because that's
I
what the
thought
client
you were
asked for.
saying, wow. You said, why?
Because the client wanted the
I
client
was
had
doing
hired,
Christmas lights yesterday.
yeah, the company that she used to put the lights up originally went out of business, and so she asked Nola. We normally just do the inside, the 4 Christmas trees inside, but yeah, so that ladder is opened all the way up and all the way up,
That's what it
no fear,
looked like at night.
and that's what it looked like afterwards. So isn't that pretty? Yeah, so that part. Yeah, and by the way, that was the first time of decorating palm trees outside. So
Yeah.
what was she doing? Yes, putting the lights on. So they were on timers. Yes. So that's what one of the other, those are what the trees look like after the lights.
Yeah, my fingers are all messed up wrapping that around and getting them caught in palm
Right.
fronds
And
and
what,
everything.
and 2 of the trees, we checked the lights before we put them on.
And they ended up
And
having
then
a
when the
short.
timer came on, 2 of the strands on 2 of the trees were on.
Technically
So
three
Noah had to
because
redo
I had to
it.
change one twice because I changed it
Yeah.
out with another one and that one had a short too.
5. It was 5 total.
5 trees.
Also, but on the inside, while she was doing that, I was on the inside decorating. I think that tree has to be what, 14, 15 feet? The one in the living room. How high is that tree?
Yeah, look at her handiwork.
It
It
looks better in person. You can't really get the
looks
grasp
pretty
of it.
here though. It looks
But it's
pretty here.
because it's all these birds and glass, she spends a lot of money on the decoration, so you can't really see it. But if you see up at the top, that's the upstairs, that brown part up there, that's the actual
Yeah,
upstairs.
it's about a 14-foot tree. He said,
Right. So you
I
had to
think
be on the ladder.
the 5 trees
Right.
outside.
5 outside, 4 Christmas trees. We have to go back today and finish the other 3 Christmas trees and decorate the table.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh yeah, and I had to do the whole wiring situation on the ground to connect it to the house, and yeah.
Right, because it's on timers in the backyard because they live in the neighborhood where homeowners are really bad. So anyway, the point is that those things would not have happened. And oh, by the way, really, people celebrating can't even decorate their own tree. No, not to the level at which they have to do it. She has people coming in. Her job. There's no way she got time. Tall
She's got
inside
a
tree.
travel
Yeah,
job. Yeah, she's going all the
she
time.
has a travel job. She does. She actually works with the for disease control. So she works for Pfizer for disease control for
I don't think it's Pfizer, it's
universities and
another
all of
one.
that.
Something's
It's another one. So it's for disease control for people.
She's
I
talking to
forgot
all
what.
types of people, like the
Yeah,
Navy and
the
yeah,
Navy, everybody.
everybody's
So
calling
she
her.
actually has it. Yeah, and her parents are coming in. So no, that's not when you get up to them dollar amounts. They not they. It's a lot of people that don't decorate their stuff. A lot. Hence, that's why Nola busy up until 2 or 3 appointments a day. Yeah, it's a tall inside. It's a very big house. That part. So anyway, so the point is, on the outside, they had yeah, it's a very what is that? What is about 5,000? That's not. Wasn't it
It's
that
got,
house ballpark?
it's about 5 or 6 just because of how many rooms it's got.
Right.
So nothing too
So
great.
anyway, that point. So the point is that being a thermostat, not a thermometer, because the lights worked and we tested them, and then when it got dark and the timer came on and they didn't work, now it's time to redo because guests are coming today. And so in that 6 months ago to a year ago, Nola would have been mad. I would have to take over the appointment. She would have wanted to do it. ADHD would have got autism, all that would have jumped in, and none of it would have gotten done to that level. And so to be able to maintain the thermostat behavior throughout, and it was an okay day yesterday. It wasn't actually warm. By the time we got dark, it got cold outside. So then she had to put a jacket on, but I think then you took it off because you got hot. So the point is,
Yeah, the
things are going to
majority of the
happen.
day I had a t-shirt on.
Right, because the sun was out. But I'm saying once you had when it got dark outside, I can't remember because I went inside the
I
house.
just
I,
put
I
my
don't know.
zip-up hoodie on, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So she went from a t-shirt to a zip-up hoodie. So the point is that when you start deciding that you're going to be a real leader and you're going to lead your life, things will start to happen and you will be 100% responsible for those things. So you won't write a book to say, let's leave the plantation with no solution. You won't execute dumbass plans and you won't have dumbass decisions. You'll actually be very strategic. And when those things come up, as they will, it won't throw you off your square. You will be emotionally regulated instead of emotionally dysregulated. And that's why the neural reps are important on a daily basis because you are strengthening your prefrontal cortex. And the only way for that to happen is to embrace change, to take risk, persevere during times of adversity, and all those other things that take place. So you end up combining multiple principles of real leadership in order for you to function every day in your everyday life. And Regina said, "Go Nola,
Yeah, I was
100%,
just
one
about
hundred
to say
percent."
thank you for everybody. And yes, her tree looked nice. And the lights look nice. I mean, for our first time, it looked because we go everywhere and people have them wrapped like the shopping centers and the malls and everything. So we ended up going to a mall after that, after I'd seen my work. And so I was like, okay, I'm doing pretty good because I was
Yeah,
grabbing
for the first time. It usually takes us three times to get it, and then she's got it. So yeah, to the depths of that level. So the point is that being a thermostat requires daily effort. This is not something that you can do. Turn it on, turn it off. I'm gonna decide I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna decide I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna decide I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna decide I'm not gonna do it. So at this point, we're 26 minutes in. What questions do you have for Nola? And drink water.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what? Drink what? You
I
don't go get your water. Go get your water right now.
You yelling at me. This is a completely different setup. This is
Now
completely
see,
different.
did I yell at her? She tells me every time that my stern voice is yelling. I didn't say, go get your damn water now. I said, go get your water now. That's what I said. So that stern
I
voice,
forgot it because I was trying to make sure I was awake and I had a shirt on and your stuff was set up and YouTube worked and everything.
what questions do you have for Nola before we go into what the neural rep is for today?
So we almost had everything right.
Listen, we got on live correctly. That's more important. You can go get up and get the water. If you're thinking, dot, 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 brain, emoji.
We're going graphic for graphic.
No.
No.
Bridget said, I'm just going to drink my water. Okay. Wow. For the first time, impressive with the lights.
They look nice. Well, Miss Perfectionist over here, she made me redo it a couple times. And you was made one like, "Ugh, I don't want to be wrapping these trees." And then you like, the gap is uneven. You gonna have to bring it down. I'm like, if you don't feel like doing it, why are you making us do this extra
Because you be the
times?
best. Because if you're going to do it, be the best at it. Fuck your feelings. You know, I say fuck your feelings all the time. Me
But
feeling like doing it wasn't going to matter.
do you feel that the mothering I that doctor? Oh.
He got it. He doing text to speech. You're going to have to say that again, Jared.
Nola, what made you decide on assembling? Oh, well, interesting story. No, after I did what you call I graduated from high school early. I was looking to enter the workforce. And so I applied to 85 different things and she sent me a link to TaskRabbit and I went on and I was like, I like assembling stuff. This is cool. But what happened was in that 85 jobs, I had like customer service report for ordering packages on Amazon. I did screenwriting review. Uh reviewing cases for lawyers. Like I was signed up for a lot of different random things, and a lot of people were telling me no. So because they wanted me to have a degree, so it didn't matter how many years I did work experience. I was on freelancer making graphics and everything, and so I had 8 10 different years of different stuff. And but they were like, no, you need a graphic design degree. I was like, but if I have graphics from 13 to 18 that have actually been used for a real brand, I feel like that's more valid than somebody that has a degree with no work experience. But hey, that's on y'all. Anyway,
Right.
my stuff been used. Same thing with video editing. But she ended up seeing like an ad or a link or something to TaskRabbit, and it was during the pandemic, and she was like, "Oh my god, this is germs and stuff." She forgot who her mother is. How many hours
So
did it take? Did
yeah.
Oh, how many hours did it take to put lights on the trees? Um, Oh, anyway, let me finish the first question. Anyway, so I started doing that. I did assembling. I was doing delivery for a second, but I only did two of those. And we were going to houses during the pandemic. She was going into anaphylactic shock because she was like, no, I'm just playing. But the she was definitely emotionally dysregulated because of the germs and everything. But I did it, and I started getting experience from there, and added services, mounting, and organization for a second, minor home repairs, and so that's how, is because it was the thing that came through. I somewhat had an interest in it, and so I realized assembling around the house is not the same as assembling for people, and they asked for way more complicated stuff than what we had at the house. This is also the same client, by the way, that we did the 20 foot by 12 feet in the air curtains outdoors, and 10 feet in the air on balconies as well. She always
Yeah.
likes to keep me on my toes. Oh,
That's
and
exactly
mounting
right.
those 120-pound garage cabinets that we got to access this year because we did that in the beginning of the year. Okay.
The hours that it took between testing the lights, unraveling the lights, and all of that was 5 hours. We were there a total of 8 hours yesterday, and probably
Yeah,
do 2 hours
it
today.
was about 5 because we were doing other decorations outside too,
Yeah,
and
on the
mapping stuff
gates and
out,
stuff.
asking questions because we were in between calls with her. So, but yeah, I would say the lights themselves probably took about an hour. 5 hours, so about an hour per tree, but it wasn't actually that because I got faster as I went along, and then I had to redo them. So yeah, we're gonna say 5. Okay, let's questions. Hold on. Uh
Jared said, "Do you feel that the mothering Dr. Donna gave you help you flourish as an adult?"
Absolutely. She's the key to my success. That's why I'm here. Because it's not just her mothering, because we always joke all the time, she's like a mother maybe 10 to 12% of my of the time of my life. It like if I'm sick or something, maybe the cooking dinner or whatever. But was raised by Dr. Donna, and I actually, so much so I had to change it. But I used to call her ma'am since I was 4 years old, and she didn't like it because of the military. But I didn't even call her mom. So people would see it in my phone. They're like, "Ma'am, who's that?" I'm like, "That's my mom." They're like, "Why don't you just?" I'm like,
I
"Anyway."
told her because I told her to call adults sir and ma'am. That's what
Mhm,
I told her when she was 4. So she
mhm.
took it literally and stopped calling me mommy and started calling me ma'am. And then it just stuck. And then I told her recently, I think it's been this year, I said, call me Dr. Donna. And the transition for her. And the reason why is because, like she said, Dr. Donna is the person that raised her. So it's not a matter of,
I
huh?
wasn't done. I wasn't done talking about what you did as a parent.
Okay, give me just I'm just clarifying it and then you can go back. And
Mhm.
so I didn't get to choose my name. I was forced to be named after my mother. I've always been Dr. Donna. And so everybody, you call me Doc, you call me Dr. D, or you can call me Dr. Donna because those other things have titles to them. So mother, wife, grandmother, stepmother, whatever these things are, they all have job descriptions to them. And it's never worked for me. I've just been Dr. Donna the whole doggone time. I'm going to do what Dr. Donna does, regardless if I'm in a parent role, if I'm in a leadership role, if I'm in the military, I'm still me. So that's why this year she had to make the distinction. Now go to the transition. Okay, Nola, go ahead. What you were saying about me being your mother 12% of the time. Yes.
So I was raised by Dr. Donna, and she raised me with the principles of real leadership. There were some things she saw from other people's parents, but basically the everything that I had to do was wrapped around these principles. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to help get these to the world, because I mean, I had a lot of things working against me being a Sagittarius and a Rogers, that already made me have a strong personality. And then you throw in the three mental illnesses and stuff in there. So I had a lot of things that would make me be very unsuccessful, difficult to work with, and possibly lead to a life of crime. And so,
Yeah,
because we have criminals in the family that don't even
we
have as
do.
much going on up here as I do.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, we got a cousin in BMF. We have he has never gotten caught. Now my idiot first cousin needs to stop because he can't
So
stay
my
out
first
of
cousin is lifelong member of BMF.
Yes,
Yeah,
but my actual cousin
in
from her
Atlanta now.
sister is he. I mean, he's a worse criminal than his parents. Neither one of them even went to jail as much as he has. Either one.
Right.
Anyway, but the point is, so I want to get real leadership out there to people because it's helped me, and it's I mean, I most people with everything that I have going on mentally, and then I got physical things wrong with me with scoliosis and stuff like that. So I definitely could have most people would have thought, I would either be super bad or I would be like one of the people with mental illness and stuff that never leave the house because they can't do for themselves. And so she's made me be very independent and actually a light into the community. I've helped thousands of people. I've, for families, businesses, and everything, which I'm proud of to be able to make such a big impact at as young of an age as I am. Most people at 20, well, I'm about to be 23 in December, are still like ramping up to try to create their legacy. And I technically already have. I'm not saying I would drop dead, but if I did, there's people out there that would say I made an impact. So that's why I want to get real leadership out there because not only am I a positive light and to society and fully functional as a person with mental illness, but I'm actually above where people are. So if it could take me from being this far behind to where I'm at ahead of everyone, people with normal stuff should really be able to, you know what I'm saying, just accelerate to be able to be successful. All right, we got a lot going on down here. What's happening?
I can
Okay.
read it to you. Bridget said, I saw you assembling something without directions anywhere near you. Do you read directions or keep them near you?
So what my basal ganglia is really good when it comes to assembling, and she says part of it is probably a cross between my ADHD and autism that are the reason why I'm so good at assembling stuff because I can just see it. What like we've assembled stuff in Chinese. Most of the time when I'm assembling things, it's pictures, and so there are no words. I
Right.
actually am slower with the words than if it's pictures. The words slow me down. But the pictures I'm quick with, like, we did a pergola with a swing one time, and we did 3 boxes, and she was like, "Where's the pergola?" We just keep unboxing long pieces of wood. How is this going to be a structure? So yeah, we got 3 boxes full of wood and a pack of screws. And that had to turn into a structure with the swing. And then we had 2 chains too. That was gonna be the swing. So with new stuff, I look at the manual a little bit. Most of the time, I'm changing the manual because I don't like the order that it's saying it in. And so I can think of it in a better way that's going to be more efficient or better for the space. Because the manuals want you to basically be in new homes with no furniture and clear rooms. And by the time we're getting there, people already have furniture. We're operating around people, pets, children,
Kids,
toys, beds. And so they're like,
expensive art,
spread
all kind
out
of stuff.
everything and prep every piece of this 50-piece dresser and then put it together. And I'm like, we don't have the space for that. I'm gonna need to build the frame first. She's gonna have to build the drawers. So a lot of times I don't have the manual by me because I'm like, F you, you're making this more complicated for me. And so I flip through it originally to see how they want me to put it together. And then most of the time from there, based upon how much I put together, I have like a reference point to how you would put together most things like a dresser, wardrobe, coat rack, whatever, bed, and then be able to be like, okay, this is a better way in my head, I think of a better way to do it. And that's why I end up not having the manual by me because I'm operating off of my own basically instructions for how to put it together. Now, if it's something I put together for years and years, like a lot of IKEA furniture, I can put together without a manual, or even like if it's a couch. Look, some of those things are just similar enough that I don't need the manual. Once I see the hardware and stuff, yeah, I just throw it to the side. Or the reason it's not by me is because I've changed completely how it's put together. And so that's, she used to be able to prep for me, but because I changed the manual so much, she can't because it's up here.
So Regina said your business developed organically based on all of your experiences. It really wasn't about being a certain age. How you were raised has had a positive impact on your development. And then she said, life of crime because of poor impulse control. So she's asking, why would you have had a life of crime?
Okay, well, I have a very strong personality that we've worked to tame. And so part of it, I like sports, but I always told coaches, because they would, they would see me in PE and stuff. They're like, you should try out for the team, especially for like track and basketball. And so I was like, I'm a hothead. Like, I've literally gotten physical altercations with people just in street ball games. That I've gotten black eyes. People have been bleeding. This is guys too, way bigger than me. And he's just like, bro, she busted my lip. And so, because as short as I am, people are like, "Oh, you're probably a guard and you have handles." And no, I'm not. I'm actually, I live in the paint. So I'm blocking the big dudes and getting the ball to the actual person that's good at shooting. Anyway, so I'm a really good rebounder. Anyway, and blocker. But so they always try to get me in sports and stuff, but I'm a hothead. I got that from both of my parents, so they both have. All right, Miss Bat. She got kicked out of a club, and the three big ass bouncers had to throw her out like a log into the street. But she's not a hothead. She used to walk around with a bat and a tire iron, but she's not a hothead. Anyway, so I would just, get in a lot of arguments and stuff. I was actually in anger management in elementary school, mandated by the school in first and second grade. So really just the ADHD, that's what I said, my parents' personality, my family's personality, because my grandmother had a boss who was a W amputee, and she pissed her off one day and she said she's gonna beat her with both of her legs.
She
So
said, bitch, I'll take both your legs off and whoop your ass.
so I just have an angry family. So the everybody is a catch these hands would be the tagline on all sides of the family. So so that was a component. So I was, angry, feisty. I got in an altercation in the second grade with one guy, and that followed me all of elementary school, because you're like, bro, she ripped his shirt. Because he was one of those kids that always changed the rules so he could win, and I was sick of him. And so I threw him on the ground, and the rest is history. Anyway, the point is, so that my temper would have been caused me to have a life of crime, the ADHD with the impulse control and stuff. So I more than likely would have just probably just been in and out of jail for being in fights and stuff. And I'm really strong. I know I'm little, but I would have the ability to cause some actual harm to people that would, lead to lawsuits and all other types of things. Also, with my autism, that's what she's saying is the aggressive side of it, because we googled it, and the autism actually lives in the amygdala. So when my amygdala gets hijacked, and we see it in people's houses with people that have autistic children, they
They
like
hit the
throw stuff,
wall,
they have
punch
punches
the
in walls
doors.
and stuff. So between both of those two joining up, I could seriously harm someone. So I needed to get emotionally regulated so that I could be calm and use this energy. And now I'm using the autism and the ADHD to tinker and solve for things. And so now I'm helping people instead of hurting people. And so I haven't necessarily seriously hurt anyone, but if we didn't get this under control, between my strength and my mental illnesses, I definitely could have done that. So I'm not saying I would be like a drug queen pin or something like that. Or you know what I'm saying, some mastermind robbing banks and stuff. But it probably would just be assault. Mhm.
So then Bridget said, yes, I got two cabinets with only pictures. That I had to put together. That's why I asked. Jared started laughing. Bridget said, Miss Megachurch, because somebody got removed from a megachurch or asked to leave and never returned. Jared said, I remember a couple people used to walk around with bats back in the day. I hate them type. Mine was purely for people messing with me. I always said I don't start none, but I will finish it.
Not
Don't
Regina
start no
said
shit,
both your
won't do no
legs.
shit.
She said both your
That's
legs.
funny, both of your legs. And
Mhm.
then Bridget said, I have a bat in my car. A lawyer said if you have a bat and a ball, bat without a ball is a case. Right. Um, the more you know, thanks, Bridget. Didn't know autism lives in the amygdala. That's enlightening. It's where the fear because of the change. So it's the change. Autistic people don't like the change. So what happens is when that change shows up, it starts fighting and flighting. It wants to go and
Well,
harm things
the
because you
change
changed what
the
was happening. And so its response is, let me hit something. I don't like change. That's why they have those heavy blankets and they wrap them in shit and all of that. And that's why I said that this shit don't work. Okay, we are at 5:45. Any other questions for Nola so I can give you your assignment? You can then do our closeout and we can keep it moving. So any final questions for Nola and the principles of real leadership? So basically, I'm
no,
the baddest
it's
motherfucker
six
walking the face of
thirteen.
planet Earth. Huh?
It's six
Six, I
thirteen. It's
meant
not 5:40.
six. Right. I meant we 45 minutes in.
Mhm.
She said I even added a glove to my car. You gonna play some baseball for real. So the point is that if you have anything else, I'm gonna ask the normal questions for today. What was your everyday flex yesterday? What was your brain conversation? What did you learn today? What did you learn about yourself? Usually people with bats don't start much, but they would finish it. Yes. That that's how I see that. If you think of bulls, bulls are calm until you come charging at them, and then we see red in the matador. So no, I don't. I'm not. I don't. I actually don't like conflict, and I don't like violence. No questions. Thank you for sharing, Nola. That part. All right. So, what was your everyday flex yesterday? What was your brain conversation? What did you learn today? What did you learn about yourself? And I would like to say that Nola has consistently, we said this on, I think, a youth Instagram live. Nola has consistently said, we put together, we put together, we put together. We don't. We actually don't. If I didn't show up, things would still happen. If I showed up and she didn't, nothing would happen. So she says that, but there is literally just a moment here and there where some wisdom will show up, some strategies will show up. I
She
got
was
longer
initially
arms
there
than
to
her.
calm me down because I did have to
Right,
be. I've become more emotionally regulated throughout this process, but with being in new environments and stuff, and people's houses are chaotic and stuff, I there would be moments where I would need to calm down or walk out and
right,
stuff. But now I'm cool because I mean, honestly, yesterday there was a lot of situations where if I wasn't emotionally regulated, I could have straight lost it.
right, exactly. And so that's what I was there more like the Nola whisperer than anything else. Jared said my flex was using a tool. I was about to throw it back in my cart, but my PFC stopped me and told me to put it back where I got it, and I followed through. Got it. He was about to put it in the cart, and you said no, put that back. Stacy said, my flex was completing three things that have been lingering for months, and I felt great. It feels good when you close that reward loop. When you finally finish what you start, that doggone nucleus accumbens is going to release that dopamine. You're
Can
going
I
to feel
say my
amazing.
can I say mine?
Yes.
Because I would
Yes,
normally
ma'am.
be typing it, but
Yes, ma'am.
I'm here, so I can't.
You can.
Um, so obviously my everyday flex, we all saw it. Being 20 feet in the air, wrapping the lights around the palm tree. I think that speaks volumes. Yeah, you can read the next one. Mhm.
Regina said Brain Flex was staying online for 2 hours of AI training for her business. Yes.
My
Marketing.
my brain conversation was with Chat GPT talking about how many brain regions you use for being on an actual ladder because after I was on it and I was so cool, and that's what she always says is that it's the big stuff that does bother me. I was 20 feet in the air, I was wrapping the tree around, I'm chilling. Stuff like that doesn't even bother me. But chat gave me a bunch of things with like you're using balance and your PFC and
Your motor
depth
cortex skill.
perception and all those types of things. So it is interesting doing that to see how many different parts I'm using because I don't even feel like I'm using that many parts of my brain. Um,
Right. So basically, what she's saying is one of her real leader resources. We've revised them now, but one of her real leader resources is for her to go into chat and find out more about the brain. And I suggest you all do the same thing. So if you find yourself not wanting to do something or thinking what you did wasn't really hard, just ask chat how many brain regions it takes to, and then say the thing, and you will be amazed at what's happening neurologically, and it will help you so that you don't think, oh, my work is insignificant or how hard could it be? Then you're gonna go, damn, that was a lot. So Bridget said my flex was going to the grocery store and coming home, cleaning greens and getting them ready for me to cook today. So I don't have to clean them, just cook them today. Yep, that prep work is the best work for sure. Totally understand. And then what did you learn today? What you learned about yourself? Stacey said my brain conversation was with another grandparent at my grandson's school about focus, eye contact, sleep, and emotional regulation. Well, go ahead on, Stacey. You let them know. You
Regina
had to.
said that was great to check with chat to find out about brain parts being used for balancing the ladder, lights, etc.
Yes, I didn't see that. Okay. I love me some greens. That is her thing for sure. Bridget, y'all too far from each other for you to jump in and get some.
We don't even have to make them anymore. We got a soul food place here that I've been going to for years. They got a new place, Mario's Grocery. They literally make all that stuff. It tastes like homemade. They got peach cobbler. They got greens. They got greens with smoked turkey in them. Everything, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Catfish, yams, all of it.
Jared said my brain conversation was learning about the adrenal gland release and cortisol, the stress of it all. If you got stressed out, and you could, there's an exercise that you could do. You lay on your back and put your feet up, your legs up against the wall, and that will strengthen your adrenal glands too. I used to do it when I was extremely stressed in corporate America. So your butt has to be right up against the wall to do it. So your back is down like this, your legs are up against the wall like that, and that strengthens your adrenal glands. Um, and then Bridget said, my brain conversation was with my friend who wanted to know why he's getting thrown off track with his work he really doesn't want to do. I told him about Amy and Lala. Yep, that is how it goes. That is definitely how it goes. So today, here is your neuroflex for today. Regina said, I learned that being a thermostat is about emotional regulation and is necessary for a sane and balanced life. That is correct as well. And so the whole point of all of this, and that's why Nola is here, and we will end up with some merch attached to some award-based things because I worked through most of that yesterday regarding why I didn't want to do it. But here's the thing. Um, all of us are different. None of us are exactly the same. And that's why all of us need to become high functioning adults because we're all going to be able to contribute to the world in a unique way because we all have something to offer other people in the world. And that's why this work is so important. That's why I got to keep doing what I'm doing, regardless of how I feel, regardless of how many tests I fail, regardless of how many words I say improperly and things I don't get immediately, because we need to change humanity. And so everything that you do every single day matters because I'm taking it all in and I'm making it better for the people that are coming behind you. So, Bridget said, I learned that being a thermostat and not a thermometer is self-regulating the emotions and very beneficial. Yes, it's a new t-shirt, neuroplasticity loaded. Yes, ma'am.
It's
Nola, I
adorable.
messaged you about the shirts this morning on it.
Oh,
And we
okay.
have our eye appointment, so she'll be able to see it. So
Oh,
your
you
neural
messaged me
rep,
on TikTok. Okay, got it.
okay. So your neural rep today is you're going to give me one second. At least one time today, you're going to pause and ask yourself, am I reading the room or am I regulating the room? Am I reading the room or am I regulating the room? And you're going to identify one moment where you started acting like a thermometer. So you were reactive, absorbing, or mirroring. And then you're going to turn into a thermostat. So at some point today, even if it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you just see something go, and you demonstrate thermostat behavior, I mean, thermometer behavior, be aware of it, and then say, am I reading the room or am I regulating the room? And make that neurological shift to being a thermostat so that you can be cool as the other side of the pillow. Daisy said, my conversation yesterday was trying to figure out how Maxwell decaffeinated coffee, it got to the price of 17.74, 8 ounces of bottle. You know what, Daisy? I had that same doggone experience. Now I use Nescafe and mine is in a glass bottle, and that it went up to $11.37. It was
17
$8.
for an 8-ounce bottle is insane.
Yes. And so I literally we got to the checkout. I was like, Why is decaf coffee $11.74 when it was just $8? $11.74. No, there
No,
won't be. So
this is
this is taking the
replacing that.
place of that. So we decided, because first of all, it was 3 lives. Second of all, I would be in my 14 hours into my day, and just scheduling
So
people
the
needed
Friday
Nola on
live is
Friday
now
evening.
this the morning live on
Right,
YouTube is the Friday live. So we combined them.
right.
That
So
was
we
my idea.
combined them. Yeah, so same thing happened to me, Daisy. I got the shock of my life. Look, a $3 increase, and we ain't see nothing about that. I'm like, there's tariffs on decaf coffee beans. Hey, mine is instant too. I'm like, how the fuck? What? I gotta rethink my whole life behind that. I'm like, yeah, I think I can just keep drinking for the
Well,
rest of
no,
the day.
it probably is tariff because all the coffee are coming from all the Latin and Hispanic, South America, Central
But
America,
we didn't see that.
Colombia,
We
and all
didn't
that.
we didn't hear about we didn't hear about a tariff on coffee. That wasn't on nothing. Stacy said, "No, I appreciate you for sharing your experiences. Every time I watch you, it helps me be a better grandmother to my grandson."
Well,
Well, that's
thank you.
awesome.
I'm
See,
glad.
and so see, Stacy, I said no like 50 times to Nola saying that she wanted to be live with me. Now, it wasn't because I felt like she was incompetent, because I'm like Liam Neeson. Since I'm like, somebody say some shit or do some shit, I'm gonna have to come and fuck you up. So it was more Mama Bear protecting Baby Bear, even though she says I'm grown and she don't need my help.
I
So I
mean,
finally listened.
I can
Huh?
handle myself. I
I
literally put up
understand that.
2 Christmas trees upstairs from a
It
garage
doesn't
yesterday.
matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
They
matter.
don't want this smoke.
Yes, very early this year was 7.57. I know, because mine was $7, and then I watched it go up to $8, and then I went back and it was $11.37. I'm gonna be at the Dollar Tree drinking that nasty ass $1.25 decaf coffee, because that's insane.
Do you see read Bridget's or no?
Brid- What did Bridget say?
Learned about myself that I
Learn.
have.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bridget. What happens is when more come, it goes up, and then I can't see the screen. I apologize when I don't read y'all's, but then it scrolls and I can't see it. Bridget said, learned about myself that I have to be particular about not only conversations, but the people I have the conversations with. Yes.
Yes.
And then Regina said, I love the morning change for Friday. Good idea. It was out of sheer exhaustion.
Well, I
It
did it
ain't
because she was like, "You gonna have to
sheer
get up at
exhaustion.
for TikTok." I was like, "No, no, I'm not. We can
I
do,
do drink water,
we can
Regina.
do."
That's all I got. I don't drink soda. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink anything else but water. So the decaf coffee is my only other thing.
Yeah,
That's
she said
it.
I was gonna have to get up to do the TikTok, and I'm like, why wouldn't I just go on the live that I'm on anyway? I'm already up for this live, so I'm just on it.
Oh, Stacy said I'm gonna be Dr. Stacy for him. You being a bad mofo has showed me he will be one too. So there you go. Nola.
Yes, well, that's great.
Yes, it is. And that's the whole point, Stacy. That you can thank IB for it. And Aunt B can thank herself for listening to this crazy lady in burning t-shirts. So I do value and appreciate all that you all do every day. Trust me, you are helping this process further this research. I'm understanding what's taking place, what's not taking place, how this can work better. So this is all, when I get my Nobel Prize, I will be thanking everybody. I wish I was allowed to be that for my grand. And I understand that, Bridget, because it is hard when you are the grandparent. It is so hard. If Sean was on here, she would say the same thing. It's definitely challenging because grandparents do not have rights. And so, yeah, you can only do so much. At any point, the parent can say, nope, you're not going to Abuela's or Abuelo's house no more, and all of that. So, yep, I understand that. 100%. But can makes the impossible possible. And even in the times that you have together, you could drop some neural nuggets in that time frame and it will happen. And the good news is once they become 18, they grown. And so,
Everybody abandons them anyway. That's really a sweet
yeah,
spot to work with because kids turn 18 and then you
and no
you
one
have their
cares.
full attention because everybody just wants to be able to take their photos and go on field trips and sports and stuff now. But when all that's over, then you
Yep,
can do your work.
yep. Nola is speaking from experience. No one cared. She turned 18, 17, graduated from high school, and turned 18, and nobody cared. Yep, yep, 18, and you are G to G for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, this is a good add to the format. And again, y'all know me, ABC, and always be changing and updating. And that's the beauty of when you have ownership of all your shit. You ain't gotta wait and go through no damn bureaucratic red tape to try to get it done. Change can happen in an instant. People
It
don't
is.
realize that from 1825, this is a crucial time. Exactly, Regina. Because you're grown, but you don't have your frontal lobe yet. Those
Right.
7 years are
That's when
vital.
people make the most mistakes in their life. But the thing is that's when people get abandoned. But that's when they need adults' guidance the most.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why I don't work with children anymore, because I used to be the parent leader. I'm like, no, I'm talking to adults.
The
Adults
parents
need me
be in the
more than
way.
children. Huh?
Well, for
The
my
parents get in the
the
way.
parents be in the way.
They do. They are. They are in a way. Because they don't want you to find out the truth. So they all wait, what you saying? What you talking? Because they hide a bunch of shit. So,
And
they're like,
when the parents are
don't
away,
tell them that.
it's easier to work with adults. Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, it will happen. Okay, so tomorrow's topic is for this live is establish trust and be trustworthy, because I had already made the live and everything, and then I realized tomorrow's Friday, so that's not going to work. Parents dropped the ball. I don't know if this happens in all cultures, but certainly in the States. So Regina, the reason why, and Nola and I figured this out as well, and if you all have to go, I understand. Parents have children because they want something to do,
Their activities.
and they don't see it as a job. They believe they own the children, and it's just an activity. That's why they put them in sports and all of this, because they are bored. And then they send them off into adult life and say, I don't know what's wrong with these kids. But no, because we've seen this firsthand, or control, exactly. We've seen this firsthand, and then they become the parents that they wanted, or the parents they believe they should be. And they have favorites if it's multiple children, and they only do what they want to do. They don't do anything that causes discomfort. They're not going to let their
And there's
child go
not a
20
lot of
feet up in the air
teaching happening. There's not a
at
lot of
all.
teaching or skill development.
Right. And even if they send them to private school, they expect the school to be magicians and everything. So what parents don't think is that I am raising a responsible adult. I'm taking this person from 0 days to 25, and that's my responsibility. A, B, we were just saying some of this. And so that's the issue. And everything else you need a license for. You need a license to become a nail tech, of everything, driver's license, fishing license, everything, but be a parent. The most responsible thing in the world that you can do, and you don't need a license to be a parent. You got to have a marriage license. You got to go to the court to get divorced. But you don't need a license to become a parent, to have a whole human being that you're responsible for. You don't need, ain't no training, nothing. No training for, ain't no parent. You go to Lamar's class. If something happened, that's it. Or at nothing, nothing at all. And then you expect it how? No brain training, no parent training. And now sometimes your parents may or may not have done a good job. And now you're supposed to do what? Where's the training coming from? So that's the whole bigger issue, is that you have it, and it's like, well, just put them in school. All you got to do is keep them at home, put them in kindergarten, put them in pre-K, put them in school, and now send them to college or put them in skills trades and put them in the world. It's a wonder that we ain't killed each other, all of us, education or parenting. Exactly. So that's what's happening, and that's why the work that we're doing is so important, because study the brain, master the brain, teach others how to do the same, so the people in the world will forever be changed. It's the only way we're going to change. We expect people to use the brain and never taught them how to do it. We expect people to bring people into this world and raise responsible adults when we never taught them how to do it. We teach sex ed. We don't teach parenting in school. We don't. We'll balance your checkbook and all, because the shit is hard as hell. That's why they ain't being taught. It's like, well, hope y'all figure it out. Well, go to church. The church will help you figure it out. They don't know either, especially not from your own family and your own DNA. It definitely, everything that I have done with Nola has been strategic. And people accuse me of making her a robot, and all people have all kind of shit to say, because I have people whose children are the same age. And people talk shit. She just let her have a childhood, and she can't have no fun, and she can't do this, and you doing too much. You ask her, she can't get a break. She only a child for a short period of time. I know. Anyway, and none of that was true.
I
None
am
of that
a
was true at all.
real leader.
Yeah.
Leader.
So I caught a lot of flack the whole entire time. The whole entire time I kept being told I wasn't doing it right.
Well,
Then who
where
is?
are their kids now?
Right.
Jail.
Yes, exactly. And you still can, Bridget, if that's your desire. I'm working on the brain. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So the heat has come back on. I am sweating in my new shirt. So we will be back tomorrow. I gotta take a shower and get ready for my eye exam. It is, and go back over here to support. So in summary, when Nola says we built, that's not why I was there. I was giving her a business model, and the process
Learn to
that I
say
used.
we is a principle of real leadership.
Yes. The process that I used was when I was a young second lieutenant in the Army. I was 22, 23 years old. They give you a E6 or E7 as a platoon sergeant. And that's somebody who's been in the Army 12 to 15 years. So they can help guide, nurture, and develop you because you are still brand new to the military. And so I told her the whole entire time, I'm cadre. I am evaluating you in order for this to work for you. So that's what happens.
Oh
Yes, new
yeah, we're
glasses.
getting new
Yeah.
glasses today.
Yes. And so the point is that that's how you have to see that. And so for me, these titles, parent, wife, spouse, that's why I say parent instead of mother and father. I say spouse instead of, well, when I'm saying I was a wife, because that was the role. But when we change the title of these things, we change the description, and that's going to allow people to make that neurological shift from emotional dysregulation to emotional regulation. So if I say my sister, I'll get mad. But if I say I have an older sibling, then I'm not as angry anymore because, and it's not even mad like I'm about to go do something, but that has it. So that's why I say spouse instead of wife. If I say wife, I'm like, that job description sucks. So these predisposed things have these descriptions. Now you're in it. Neurologically, you got to fit into that. And I didn't want to fit into any of those. So I said, I'm not going to do that. I used to call her, instead of saying I was a single parent, I used to say I'm her primary caregiver. I'm a primary caregiver. That's what I'm there to do. Raise a responsible adult. So word choice matters as you continue on your neural rep journey and on your path. You have the right to choose to say, this is how I'm going to live my life, because you're making those choices in your prefrontal cortex. You're not making them in your emotional ass limbic lobe with left and right amygdala telling you to do all these things that you shouldn't be doing. So that's that. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing, higher power and the universe. No, we'll be on the other side, but this was the new format for the lives every Friday now. We got to figure it out on our end. And we were going to say a new goodbye, but I forgot what it was.
I'm
Oh, that's what it
Nola.
is.
You're Dr.
I'm Dr.
Donna.
Donna.
See you
We'll see
next
you next
time
time.
or week.
Okay, one more time. Oh, it's next time. Come on, one more time. Go ahead. You go.
No, but should we say next week? Because I'm not going
Okay,
to be
got
here until a week from now.
it. Okay, so next week. So go ahead. You say it.
I'm Nola.
That sounds like a question. Say it like you know who you are. Say it one more time. You're like, I'm Nola. Say it like you that's your name.
Say it like you mean it. Okay, sorry. I'm Nola.
I'm Dr. Donna. We'll see
We'll
you
see you next week.
next week. Okay, we'll practice. You all go off and have a it's bad. Go off and have a brain-tastic day. Take care. Adios.